Hey everybody, what we're going to do here today is we're going to analyze the story, the narrative that we've been given about the shooting in New York of the two cops by one Ismail Brinsley. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the person Ismail Brinsley, and then we're going to forensically analyze the crime scene that they show us and the story from one of the witnesses. So first off, what I want to show you is Max Malone covered this already on his video yesterday, but I feel it necessary to go over it again in case you haven't seen what he presented. First of all, according to the law enforcement, they claim that this guy right here, Ismail Brinsley, wearing camouflage pants and the shoes right here, that he took this picture of the blood on his pants from shooting the cops. And you will notice right here that he has no shoelace in the shoe. So this is right after the shooting. We'll get back to the forensics here after we analyze here. Let me show you Max Malone's video to show you why this shoelace is of significance. If you will take a look here in his video, and you can see here, he has a shoelace tied here, and there is a bow of a shoelace tied right there. Now, mind you, I want you to remember the shoes he's wearing, okay? Let me take you back to it. The shoelace that he's wearing, the type of shoes, the fatigues. Let's take a look at Mr. Brinsley, the person. Brinsley has two MySpace accounts. One, as you'll see here, he has these pictures of my local breed, Brooklyn, New York. And if you look at his connections here, he's got he's a fashion designer. This dude is a fashion designer anyway. And you will see some of his pictures here. Now, take a look at how he's dressed. Notice all of his pictures here. 2007. You never see him dressed funky looking. He's always nice, clean dressed. All of his pictures, you'll see the same thing. Nice, clean dressed, everything. Okay? See that? And we go here to his other. Here's a picture of his local breed, customize your, see, his clothing line type stuff. Alright? So you got that. Now, I find it interesting. They claim he's from Baltimore, Maryland, but everything that I'm finding, he is actually from a place called Union something, Georgia, and he's been there for years. One of the mug shots from his early times, this was in 2005 and was in Fulton County, Georgia. As a matter of fact, it's Union City, Georgia. Out of the cranescleveland.com, he was in an article in a newspaper where they asked him, are you altering your holiday shopping plans because of the economy? Ismail Brinsley from Union City, Georgia. My money I'm investing in somebody I really cherish, really love for the holidays, rather than just getting everybody everything. So as you can see, these people were from Cleveland, and he told them he was from Union City, Georgia. Yes, it was from 2009. So let's go back to this picture here and analyze this forensically. As you can see, let me go back here a second. As you can see, there's no shoelaces, and this was taken right after the shooting, according to their narrative. And as you can see, if this is right after the shooting and he shot himself, how did he get a shoelace into his shoe? These are brand new shoelaces. But as you can see here in the picture, he has that brand new shoelace here. but what happened to it here? So now let's take a look at a witness account, shall we? Here is the New York Daily News account, their story, and they also include a witness statement, according to the witness. Like a trained assassin, Brinsley snuck up to their patrol car and started firing into the passenger window, striking both officers in the head. Officer Liu and Officers Ramos never had the opportunity to drop their weapons, Bratton said. They may not have ever actually seen their assailant. Witness Courtney Felix, 23, said he heard a volley of shots, then saw the two officers stumble out of the patrol car and crumpled to the ground. They looked like they were really hurt, said Felix, who was at a friend's apartment overlooking the scene. They were struggling, pay attention to this closely, they were struggling to get out of the car. Here is an aerial view of the police car here. And as you can see by the numbers, that is the police car. There is that one car that was sitting in front, and later on you'll see that there's going to be a police investigative bus or some kind right here. But notice, if you will, that supposedly he got out of the car and there's no blood really laying on the ground. Did he fall right here? Is that blood right there? But that's not the important part that we're going to be looking at. Here is the two cops, Ramos and Liu. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but I've never seen any kind of police uniform where it looked like that, but As you can see here in this photo right here, this image, let's enlarge this. Now you will see, according to that witness statement, one of the officers, they both stumbled out of the car, and one fella here, you could see a pool of blood on this side of the car, but you don't see a pool of blood on the other side of the car where the other officer got up, nor do you see a second pool of blood in any of the photo images. Now, as you can see, the lights are still going, but I want you to take a look at this. You see this window right here? Now, according to, let me give you some background about what they say took place. They say Brinsley was in Maryland, shot an ex-girlfriend, took her cell phone, got into the car, headed for New York. Strange is that, okay, if he went to and shot his girlfriend, what made him want to go shoot police? Doesn't make any sense, does it? So, anyway, he finds himself sneaking up behind the car. This is their narrative. Now, mind you, I'm just using their narrative. He steps up to the passenger side window and blasts the cops through the window. But why isn't there any blood? If he shot the officer in the head here in the passenger side, you would think maybe you would see some blood here on the seat or on the console. How about if he's shooting from this direction, he would have had to have been over this direction. Why do I say this? Because if he shot this officer, he would have had to wait till the passenger officer slumped over to be able to get the driver's cop in view. Now, if he's shooting over here, then how come we don't see any blood on the glass right here from him being struck in the head? Or any blood on the windshield? No blood on the windshield, no blood on this window here. But there's more. Now you notice, because this is a crime scene, and all the tapes up here, that they left all of the clothes and the board right here, the clothes that they allegedly took off them after he got out of the car. So if the clothes were taken off from this spot right here, then there should be blood on the ground somewhere close to where these clothes are at, right? And I take you back to this pit where the clothes are at, and there is no blood anywhere on the ground. Now, although because this is nighttime and they may have turned on the lights to be able to see better, what doesn't make any sense to me is that if this is a crime scene, they would have left it just the way it is. But they seem to have turned this light off, and the headlights are on. Now, we never get an image of the car during the daytime to see if the headlights have been on this whole time. So I'm going to have to think that there's a possibility that they turn the headlights on, but they're not supposed to mess with the crime scene one bit. Maybe they accidentally turn on the headlights. Could be an accident. But there is something else. Here is the car right here. As you can see, 4324, same car. And you can see plainly in the daytime right here that the headlights are not on. As a matter of fact, you can see clearly that there is no blood on this side of the window at all. If he shot with that large caliber of a handgun, you would think that you would see some kind of blood streaking down the window, so even a couple of droplets. Even a couple of droplets. We don't even have that. But the most significant part of all, think about what the witness said. Think about it. I witnessed the officers struggle to get out of the car. They stumbled out and fell to the ground. Well, the police car should have been left in its natural state. Why are both of the police doors closed? Those doors should be opened. Are we led to believe that the officers got out of their car, shut the door, and then fell to the ground? Come on now, folks. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that when you have the shoelaces, when you have the car door open, when you have an individual who is well dressed at all times, why would he have on a funky pair of shoes without a shoelace? Why would he have on fatigues or camouflage pants and garbage clothes when he always wore fine clothing? He was a clothing designer. Well, a wannabe. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you get my point, is that he would have never dressed like that. But they're making him out to be like, he was a battle-driven, assassin. And all the evidence right here points to a complete and utter stage. The police car doors should have been left open. They should have been open if a cop stumbled out of his car and fell to the ground. He would have never had the wherewithal or the thinking to shut his car door. So, and is it just miraculous that with that large caliber of a weapon, that both officers shot in the head would both get out of the car? Or were these actors that were getting out of the car, fell to the ground, maybe even had a little secret packet of blood, whatever the case may be? I know it sounds like I'm reaching far-fetched with the packets of blood and everything, but the thing is that where this took place, you can't expect to somebody not see what was going on. And of course, you would have to present it as a scene, like, a scene from a movie. The cops stumble out, fall to the ground. And what's interesting is that you would have had people close by to keep other people from running up to want to help the cops. Do you understand what I'm saying? The cops stumble out of the car, and then, people from over at the pizzeria or whatever, they come running out because they hear the gunshots, and then they go to help the cops. There would have had to have been people there to stop them, so they wouldn't have discovered that this was fake. So I think we're going to see more of this story come out, and I don't know exactly how they're going to explain a lot of this stuff away about the shoelace, the car doors not being open, and where the blood was located on his leg. It was located on his left leg. Now, I have to think that if I'm sneaking up behind a cop car and I am right-handed, I shoot with my right. I'm ambidextrous. I don't know if you guys saw my shooting video, but I can hold the gun both different ways. But if he's right-handed, then his left leg would have been turned outward a little bit. And if you look at the blood on his leg, let me show you. The blood is right here on the front, but his leg would have been turned more this way. So how did the blood that didn't get any blood on any kind of windows or on the inside of the car that we can see from the picture I just showed you, how did he get blood on his pants, down even all the way down to here? Does that make sense? Last thing, I showed you the aerial view and there was no blood whatsoever anywhere. If he got out and he was shot in the head and he stumbled, wouldn't we see drops of blood dripping off of him, or dropping onto the ground before he stumbled farther away, if he did happen to make it farther away from the car? No blood on the doors, no blood on his hands. You know, you would think if he shut the door, then he got shot in the head, what would you do? Would you just take the shot to the head and not reach up to feel where you've been shot if they were that cognizant to get out of the car, stumble out? They would have had blood on their hands. If he would have touched the door to shut the door, isn't it possible that he would have left a handprint on the door from shutting it? Just saying. There's just a lot of questions. And I'm going to be doing some more forensic analysis of this scene, and I just thought I'd share this with you all. And thanks everybody for watching. Remember, I will not comply.